Megamind is one of my favorite animated movies of all time. It's up there with the Spongebob movie, Monsters Inc., and some others for me. When it came out, I would joke that I could watch it over and over and over again, no problem, but the joke's on everyone else, I totally can. Everything from the comedy to the story to the cast of this movie makes it great. Megamind's characterization is really interesting to me. When he was a child, all he wanted was to have friends and to be accepted, but because he looked different than the other kids, he was shunned by them. Now, this is a typical villain origin motivation, but with Megamind, his motivations are kind of subverted. Sure, he might have had some small disdain or jealousy for Metro Man, but deep down he felt as though they were friends. Megamind's motivation came from wanting to fit into society. The only way he knew how was to fulfill the role everyone had been putting him into his whole life. Life had told him it was his destiny to be the bad guy, and even if he wanted something else, that desire to fit in overtook any other desires he might have had. Megamind isn't the only one that has this or similar mentalities. TV Tropes names this the "then let me be evil" trope. It basically states that if you treat someone as though they are a villain, they will become one. Rarely, as in Megamind's case, the submission into villainhood is because of a desire to fit in. But in something like The Prince of Egypt, Ramses is portrayed more as a maniac than anything, but grows more bitter towards his former brother as the plagues destroy his kingdom. Also a shout out to the Bible, to which the movie in generally, sticks pretty closely. The book of Exodus states somewhere around the 6th plague that the Pharaoh's heart was hardened, causing him to stick to his guns and let the plagues continue. Passages like Exodus 4:21, 10:1, 11:10, and 14:18 cast a further forced into villainy vibe to the deity, who's forcing the Pharaoh to be a villain in universe.
Then let my heart be hardened, and never mind how high the cost may grow. This will still be so. I will never let your people go.
Another DreamWorks property also shares this sentiment in everyone's favorite meme, Shrek.
I'm gonna be what they want. I'm gonna be what they say. Hey world, I'll do it your way. You're looking for a monster. It's your lucky day.
Megamind's reaction isn't crazy considering his childhood is basically a model of evocative interaction. Genotype-environment correlation refers to the association between an individual's genetically influenced behavior and others' reactions to that behavior. Megamind's blue skin, his big head, his baldness evoke this negative response from the kids at school. Megamind and Metro Man were different from the other kids, but Megamind was visually different than the other kids, and so he was negatively impacted. Robin S. Rosenberg, PhD, put it very well in her Psychology Today article on Megamind, which helped immensely with this video. She says, Megamind was also subject to his own microenvironment, the environment created by his very presence. People's characteristics create their own microenvironments. The child who becomes Metro Man, by virtue of his alien/genetic, athletic abilities, and super good looks, creates a microenvironment in which he is looked up to, is popular, and people's behavior towards him elicit his heroic actions. In contrast, the microenvironment of the child who becomes Megamind, by virtue of his own alien genetic differences, leads to people who behave in ways that create a sense of alienation in him. When Megamind is disguised as John Green, he's treated differently. Nobody decides he's bad. Nobody runs away thinking he's gonna harm them because he looks like a normal dude. He falls in love with a normal person and is loved and treated like a good person, and in that way, starts acting like a good person. When Metro Man dies, Megamind relishes in it, but eventually comes the emptiness that comes with being without a purpose. He didn't want to be a villain, much less a villain without a hero. It was the companionship that he felt when being a part of the hero-villain dynamic. His relationship with Roxanne shows him that he can be more than just a villain. I think Hal is just as interesting a character as Megamind to me in this movie. Jonah Hill gave a genuinely scary and real performance as Hal. Hey everybody, so I'm editing this right now, and I wanted to cut in really quickly to mention that I noticed that Hal Stewart is the name of Jonah Hill's character, and he could possibly be a reference to Hal Jordan and John Stewart, the Green Lanterns, and if so, it could also possibly be a reference to Hal Jordan becoming Parallax and getting consumed by the power of the Power Rings and DC Comics. Sort of like how Hal is consumed by the power of being Titan. I don't know if that means anything. I just kind of thought I could mention it because it seemed interesting. Hal is a really interesting character, and in addition to that, he's an excellent antithesis to both Megamind and Metroman. And, like them both, he creates his own destiny in contrast to the one he was given. Hal believed he was destined to become a hero in the vein of Metroman, because of what Space Dad told him. He instead chose to be a villain. Metroman believed he was destined to be a hero because he had those gifts, but he chose to work on music instead. Megamind believed he was destined to be a villain and instead chose to be a hero. I think it's a shame that Megamind didn't get the franchise that Despicable Me got. Don't get me wrong, the first Despicable Me movie is good, there's really no complaints here, but this is the Minion movie I wanted to see. I've looked into it and I can't find if one of these movies was made because of the other, or if they both were independently thought of. Every couple of years, we get two movies that are really similar to each other at around the same time. There was an episode of Yesteryear that kind of dealt with this, I think. I read through every synopsis on IMDb and I couldn't find the episode, but I remember watching it one day after school in like 4th grade. But anyway, the movie Megamind is obviously about choosing your own destiny, regardless of if the destiny was predetermined or not. There's something really valuable everyone can learn from that. If you're unhappy with your life, if you feel like the destiny you have isn't the one you want, all you have to do is kill your arch-fremesis, take over the city, almost get caught moping over the death of the hero you killed, steal the identity of John Green, accidentally give superpowers to a nice guy, fall in love with Roxanne Ritchie, train the nice guy to be a hero, accidentally reveal you're not really John Green, find out that nice guy actually wants to be a villain, find out the hero you killed isn't actually dead, fight the villain, realize you want to be a hero, and then be the hero. If the big blue bald-headed alien from the unnamed planet in the Glopunk quadrant can do it, why can't you?
I'm the bad guy.
Duh.
Hey, so before you click off the video, I'm going to tell you to subscribe really quick because I'm kind of in this transition period where I really only want to do video essays and like little shorts like Creature Teacher and stuff like that. And if you like that kind of content, go ahead and subscribe. It means a lot. Secondly, thanks for watching. I've wanted to do this video for a while. I really like Megamind, and I wanted to talk about kind of the psychology behind becoming the villain in that way. It's a really interesting subject to me, and definitely go check out the articles I used in research for this video. That Psychology Today article by Dr. Robin Rosenberg is really interesting. Second, this is usually the time of the video where the YouTuber is talking about like, oh, this movie never got a sequel. Let's pitch a sequel. Hashtag YouTuber, hashtag Megamind 2. Well, I'm not doing that. I think Megamind doesn't need a sequel. Even though I would like to see it like a franchise, and I made that joke in the video about the Minion movie, I think Megamind would best be suited for a musical, like Shrek the Musical. If you haven't seen Shrek the Musical, I think it's on Netflix still. You should watch it. It's really good. Also, I would cast Christian Borle from Something Rotten. I think he played Shakespeare. He would be a really good Megamind. That's all I'm going to say about that one. But if you want to see Megamind the Musical, I don't know. I don't know what to do about that. I'd like to see it as well. I don't know. I'm a big Broadway theater nerd, and I'd like to see it. Anyway, I gotta go. But, as always, forget to think of an outro slogan.